but I promise you this, always look out for you. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today I'm doing Sparks by Coldplay. This is such a cool song. The chords are really interesting and at times complex and dissonant, but the overall effect is just a really chill, relaxing, and beautiful tune. It was tricky to figure out how best to teach it. I didn't want to overwhelm you with now play a D flat major 7 add sharp 5 over C. So I've simplified the naming of things a little bit. The important thing is that you play the right notes, right? And this arrangement is very accurate to the recording. Still, the chord chart might look a little overwhelming, but remember how fancy a chord name sounds corresponds more with just how unusual or uncommon it is, not with how difficult it actually is to play. All that said, I've really enjoyed working out this arrangement for you, and I think you're gonna have a lot of fun playing it. Let's jump in. All right, so first off, I recommend getting the chords and lyrics sheet. I put a link down in the description. That'll help you follow along and see where the chords and the lyrics line up with each other. And for the intro, I actually just charted out all the notes each hand plays on your sheet rather than write the complicated jazzy chords, because I think that'll be easier. This is what it's gonna look like. And I do wanna mention this is in 6/8 time, so every measure in this song gets 6 counts. So we're kind of feeling the whole thing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll start with the right hand. That's what's in yellow here. And for that first chord, kind of looking vertically here, we've got a D flat, an F, and an A flat. And if you look across here, it's pretty much just doing that chord the whole time. Now for the first measure, it happens twice. And so we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The measure is kind of divided in half. Then we're on to the next measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the second half of the second measure is the only place that it's different. So we're just stepping up instead of using the thumb here on the D flat. We're putting our second finger down on the E flat. And then for the last two measures, we're back to what's essentially a D flat major chord here. And this time you just hold it for the whole measure. And then again. Now for the left hand down below, we've got a B flat, stepping down to A, back up to B flat, B. Now we've got a G and a B flat at the same time. And then you just step that bottom note down to an F sharp there. And it doesn't matter too much which fingers you use. You can find what's comfortable for you. But when you put that all together with both hands, it sounds like this. And you can add a little bit more rhythm to the right hand to mimic the acoustic guitar strumming on the recording. Thinking 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. So leading into the next section, just right at the end, you can step down on A flat and E flat. You can even do the B flat and think ba-da-da. There's a little melody that happens on the recording there, and the timing on that is 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3. And then we land in that cool section with the awesome bass line. So the backbone of this section is going back and forth between a D flat major 7 chord and a B flat minor 7 chord. And that's gonna be the backbone of the verses as well. So for the D flat major 7, it's just like what we were just doing, except for we drop the thumb down to C. This is middle C, by the way. C, F, and A flat, and the main left-hand harmony is this super low D flat, 2 octaves below middle C. And then when it's time to go to the B flat minor 7, a measure later, we come up here to the B flat, and then this thumb just comes right back up to the D flat there. You can add in that gentle right hand rhythm as well. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. 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 But of course, there is that bass line. It's going to sound like this. So we're going to start on a D flat, just right as the measure starts. Then we're going to hit an A flat with our second finger, come all the way up to an E flat up here, step down to a D flat, A flat, B flat, A flat. That's the whole thing. I'll do it again and then we can talk rhythm. D flat, A flat, E flat, D flat, A flat, B flat, A flat. Timing there is like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The A flat on the way up on the recording, their bass player, it's really just kind of a percussive ghost note. Ba, 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 da, da. I hear it as that if it's gonna be a note. If you don't play anything on piano, it kind of feels like it's missing something, and you can't really do a muted rhythmic ghost note on piano. So that's why I'm doing that note there. When you put it together with the right hand, it's gonna sound like. And of course, if it's too tricky to coordinate those hands together, you could always just keep the right hand simple and just kind of fill it in a little bit. You can be kind of loose with the rhythms in this song. All right, cool. So now we are done with the intro, and then the first verse starts and the vocals come in. Now, we already kind of know how to do a lot of this verse. Here's the chords, and the first part is just back and forth between that D flat major 7 and that B flat minor 7, but without the bass line. It kind of mellows out here a little bit, and you could keep doing that rhythm we were talking about, or just keep it simple like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Certainly is easier that way, and I think it sounds just as nice. So with the singing, it's like, did I drive you away? I know what you say. So then, after 2 times through those 2 measures, we get to this E flat minor 11. Really cool sounding chord. In the left hand, you can keep your thumb on that B flat we had it on, and then put your pinky down on the E flat. So we're doing these E flat fifths here. And then in the right hand, you can take exactly what you've been doing here, but we're adding an F sharp to it. It's really dense there, and probably my display can't even show the F and the F sharp together there, but you're doing both these notes together. They sound dissonant on their own, but in the context of the full harmony, it sounds great. So you're on that for 2 measures. And then we're right back to D flat major 7 for a measure, and then we just bring it up to a regular D flat major. So it's like what we were doing for the B flat minor 7, but we're keeping that D flat bass note. So that is the first half of the first verse. Then it just does all that again, but with different words. Here, I'll just play and sing through the second half altogether. But I promise you this, I'll always look out for you. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Said, oh. So then, yeah, we're in the chorus now. So here's what I have written down for the chorus. I know it looks a little intense, but important thing to realize is that this is basically the same thing as what we learned for the very start of the song, just with an added lower harmony. And you could even just play that intro part again and sing over it, but if we want to get that low bass sound, we're gonna need some lower notes. Here's how it's gonna sound. Said, oh. So for the B flat minor 7, we're gonna do this lower B flat here with our thumb on this A flat. Right hand's just doing that D flat major chord, just as we've been doing most of the time so far. Then for the second half of this measure, we're gonna step up like this. We're gonna have a C in the bass with our thumb on A. So in the intro, at this moment, it was that. We're just adding that C down low. Now, both of these just step up to the black notes above them. So we've got a D flat and a B flat. This is for that D flat major 6. Then, here we have that moment where the right hand does that, right, from the intro. Second finger moves to the E flat there, and then really cool sounding chord. So we've got E flat in the bass, and our thumb is on B here. Then we're gonna drop our left hand all the way back down to a B flat. Our thumb is gonna hit a G this time, and the right hand can keep doing what it was doing. Now, you can be really light or even omit the top notes here. The acoustic guitar is voicing those notes still, but they're very quiet relative to some of the other harmonies. So if it sounds too dissonant to you, you can kind of ease up there. It's all whatever sounds the best to your ear, right? And then finally, all we're gonna do here is we're gonna drop this G down to an F sharp for that final measure. So the whole line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4. You can bring that rhythm in. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you do repeat that whole thing around for a second time, and then we're gonna land at what we're now gonna call the post-chorus, but it's the same thing as the second half of the intro that we did with the bass line. And that's the part, the post-chorus is gonna be where after the next chorus, we're gonna actually sing the I saw sparks. I saw sparks. So then we are in verse 2, and verse 2 is interesting because the first half of it is just like the first verse, just different words, but then the second half of verse 2 does something a little different with the chords. And I know I was wrong, but I won't let you down. So here's the chords for that second half of verse 2. So we're doing a D flat major chord here with the thumb on D flat instead of that major 7 we've been doing. And for this whole line, we're just gonna keep the left hand down on this D flat note. So we've got D flat for a whole measure, and then this B flat minor over D flat. All that needs to change is we're gonna bring our pinky up to a B flat here. It's like an inversion on a B flat minor. Now we've got D flat augmented. We're gonna drop this pinky down to an A natural, white key A. And then we've got a D flat for 3 counts, half a measure. And then for the second half, we are gonna hit that major 7. And then the second line here is just the same way that the other parts of the verse have ended, with the E flat minor 11 for 2 measures. And back to D flat minor 7. And then we've got another chorus. Said, oh. Cool. There are no other piano parts to learn. We have this chorus, which is just like the first chorus. And then we've got the post-chorus again with the bass line. And like I mentioned, we're going to just be singing, yeah, I saw sparks. And it does that 4 times around. And then we've got the outro, which is just a continuation. You keep doing that whole bass line thing for 4 more repetitions, but the vocals are doing that. Yeah. And then after 4 repetitions of that, yeah, we're just gonna end on a D flat major 7, let it ring out, and the song is over. All right, thank you for watching. I am now going to do a full cover of the song so you can see how all those different parts we just talked about fit together in the complete picture. But while you're here, I would appreciate it if you subscribed, click the bell so you know when I put out more videos like this. Also leave me a request in the comments. I like to check out all the requests and get ideas for future videos to do. All right, here is my version of Sparks. Did I drive you away? I know what you'll say. You say, oh, sing one you know. But I promise you this, always look out for you. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll say, say, oh, my heart is yours. It's you that I hold on to. Yeah, that's what I do. And I know I was wrong, but I won't let you down. Oh, yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. Yes, I will. Yeah. I say, oh, cry, oh, yeah, I saw sparks